Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Bitcoin US dollar index on the hourly time frame. And we have an ascending triangle formation going on currently. Let's make this a little darker there. There you go. And there's our target. So as you can see, we've been traveling upwards in these the set of yellow or white channels, whatever color they are, since our dump downwards, since before our dump downwards. And now I had one of these channels formed to identify this price action right here as we were forming an ascending triangle formation heading into the CPI data release. And then simply cloned and placed the channels right next to each other. You can clearly see how, well, let's switch to a 5-minute chart. And you can clearly see how even heading into our dump down to 89, how price action was defined by these channels in cascading fashion. We took these little steps down across these channels. And then here clearly this bottom one acted as support. I mean, I could add more channels on there, but I think I got enough lines on my chart. And then heading back up, we step back up these channels once again. And you can just, see how clearly they played a part in defining where we would go. You can see clearly how we come right down to there, pop back up, blast through, come right down to the center line here. If you can't see it, then I must have a problem. So anyway, after CPI, where was that? Right here, we were forming a symmetric triangle pattern on the 5-minute chart, and kind of just shot right through it. And then now I want to talk about something, because typically we will dump into CPI data releases and then pump out of them, but last week we got PPI before CPI. Usually it's the other way around. So I think the good CPI numbers prevented the price from dumping down like it usually does into CPI. And then the last few hours we dumped down a little bit, but then continued pumping upwards. I thought there was a chance that we would head down this channel, possibly down to the bottom of our white parallel channel at around 95 before pumping, but we didn't get that far. I knew we would pretty much pump into CPI unless the numbers were really, really out of control. I mean, they weren't great. They were just what was expected, pretty much, not more than what was expected. And since then, we've been traveling upwards in these channels here. And we've come across the center line of our white channel. As well, though, I do want to note we also are trading in these green flatter channels, using them as steps. So we came across here, we pumped up, we hit this one. Actually, you can see we hit the intersection of this dotted line and the other channel heading upwards. We rallied right up to that point. So they're both playing a role. And then we kind of came across here, held this as support. And you can see, although we did here on the 5-minute, our yellow or white channel, I think it's white. I just have a yellow or blue blocker on my phone, so it looks yellowish. You can see we came down, held the white channel as support here, but also wicked down to our green dotted quarter line on our green channel here, which is larger and flatter. in slope. Then as you can see here, our green channel held as support while also traveling along our white channels, our little tiny white channels. And you can see here and here and here how this acted as support. We came down a little bit out of it to liquidate some longs. And now we're heading upwards here, and we're getting blocked right here at about 104.6 something. And that's forming an ascending channel formation, an ascending channel triangle. And what these triangles, the reason they form is that we are traveling upwards in these channels, and we get blocked. It forms a triangle, and then this measured move here, you can carry over here for a breakout. We should be breaking out soon within the next, where are we at now? Now within the next few hours, I believe we should break out. And where does that take us to? It takes us to this blue line and the next green dotted part of our green channel, the quarter line of our green channel there. Now, the blue channel is very significant, and it has a lot of history. I'm going to switch to an hourly now. The blue channel's even flatter than the green channel, and it goes way back in history. And let's look at that for a second. So now we're looking at the same chart on a daily time frame, and we're way back in the bottom of the market in end of 22-23. And the blue channel that I'm talking about, the line I'm talking about moving up to currently, is this line right here, where we bottomed at in 2022 before blasting upwards into our current bull market in the beginning of 2023. Now, we had lower prices here with the FTX collapse, but this does mark a bottom. You can see it held as support right there. We bounced off of it. Currently, we held this center line right here as support, and we are heading up to the top of the blue channel. And I'll show you that in a second. But this blue channel, actually, the top of this blue channel is that same trend line, if you've been around for a while, that everybody was talking about us following and holding as support throughout 2023. We'd have these rallies up here and then come down and hold this blue line as support right here in March 10th of 2023. And then we rallied upwards again, and we came back down and held this blue line of support right here on the 15th of June 2023. Now remember, this is the top of our blue channel. Then we rallied up again, and in August of 2023, it was when we lost this trend line that we dumped back down. We dumped it. We had a huge crash downwards. But I knew that we were simply trading in another blue channel below that initial one. Or this is actually, I'm sorry, this is the blue channel that we're currently trading in. This trend line is the top of the blue channel that I'm talking about. So, and then I've also broken it down into many others. So, and we've traded across this channel as well as others. Now here you can see the top of the blue channel acted as resistance for quite a while here in November of 2023 and support. Let's see what we did. Now once we held it as support, then we began another rally in December of 2023. Here you can see that original trend line in top of our channel acted as resistance and support here. So that's why all these lines are on my chart, because they do tell a story. And I know it's very tedious. You can see even here that we rallied right down to this blue line here, which is it's the bottom of a smaller blue channel. You can break these channels down into smaller channels, and price action tends to go along that way. Now looks like we're getting really, really close to where we are at currently. Yep, this is December. And when we had our, let's remove this box right here. I want to get rid of that box. Oh, okay. I was seeing where that wick went down to. It would be really, really interesting. Now we are on a daily time frame. If I broke this down into an hourly, you probably see more touches on this line representing support and resistance. But we did form a candle body above there and continued our rally. See, it was acting on a daily candle closing basis. This blue trend line, top of our blue channel, was acting as resistance at just after the election. And then we did break through. Yeah, I think that's when I got screwed out of my trade. I don't know. At one point, we kept rallying and never. It might have been back here. It might have been back here. We kept rallying and never went back down. Yeah, this was it. We never came back down to here. And I missed getting it. I missed an entry point right here. I was expecting Monday to bring us back to here, and it did not. So we could be in store for something like that currently. Now, where were we? Where's our blue line that was acting? Here it is. It was acting as resistance here, and then we broke through and continued our, well, not really. We consolidated right along it right now. We've consolidated right along the top of that trend line. And our recent dump down. No, actually, it's an extended dump. But now we are back. We are back trying to get above it here. And this is where we currently are. And this is the center line right here that I was talking about that we just, well, here we are. This is the wick I was talking about right here, how we came right down on this 5-minute candle. We're looking at the 5-minute now in the current history of Bitcoin. Yeah, we wicked right down and came off of that. What hour is that? Oh, it's the 15 minutes into the hour. Oh, 15 minutes into a new 4-hour candle. So, of course, we came down here, and you can clearly see how we're wicking through here, but this final white channel is acting as support currently thus far. Now, we might come down through it, as we have done here and here and here, and form another channel for upwards trading. But we have been holding this channel for quite some time, this final channel here. So maybe we have a decision to make. Since 8 o'clock on Saturday, and it is now the new day on Sunday. So 16 hours we've been holding that as support. And which is why I'm thinking that we are about to bust through here. And that would give us a nice big 4-hour candle, possibly. Up to, hey, why did our screen move? Up to here, this is around 107, just shy of our all-time high. Which makes a lot of sense. That we might rally up there and see resistance at that point before we get to it. It's probably a lot of sell orders up there. So this is heading into the day Sunday. And we have the inauguration on Monday. People are talking, sell the news, whatever. Who knows what it's going to be. But as I pointed out in my past video, using Crown's 5-day BBWP, extremely low volatility setup, we are currently in a stage where we're about to explode, like by 40% up, or possibly a smaller percentage downwards. But if you don't understand where we're at in the cycle, then you might think that we could go up or down. Now we could have a little bit of a pullback right now. But even if we do, I doubt it's going to be any sort of big dump. I highly doubt it would be any sort of big dump down at like 77. And that 77 gap is used to get leveraged people to think that we're going to dump down farther than we are, and shake people out of their holdings and their highly leveraged positions. That's what those gaps are used for. Now, I do want us to be seeing another gap forming here. So hopefully, now I checked and CME futures does open tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I believe, on Pacific, United States Pacific time. And which is, what time is that? I think would that be 11 o'clock UTC? No, it's the end of the day, so it would be, what am I thinking? 2300 UTC. So it does open for trades that close on Tuesday, because Monday's a holiday, but it does trade settlements on Tuesday, I should say. So so there is a possibility of forming another gap if we do pump up here before CME futures opens tomorrow and maintain this range up here, or go even higher heading into the election. But that gap would be filled if we do what I think we're going to do. But if the market really takes off, and this is the part of our parabolic cycle of the bull rally, then it could leave a gap there. Now this blue, remember, this is initially a trend line that I made, it turned into a channel below here. So if we cross back up this trend line, above this trend line that we've had since 2022, that's a big deal and could signal a rally even higher. Now up here where this white and red lines are, this is the top of our white parallel channel from which all parabolic bull rallies start in Bitcoin history. And if you've seen any of my videos, I've gone over this ad nauseum. So now we've been up here before and got rejected in the past. In March we did it, and probably also at around 108. Did we get up there at 108? I'm not quite sure. Let's see if we did. I'll pause. Okay, so now we're on a daily time frame, and we're back here at December 17th when we did break above the white parallel channel. This is the top of the channel. Here's the center line, and here is the bottom of the channel. And you can see that since we rallied up here in around the 10th of November, 11th of November, we entered this channel and have consolidated within it along the center line here, held it as support, and then broke out right here, and potentially indicating our start of our parabolic bull rally. But as you can clearly see, we did break out and we held a daily candle entirely. We wicked down to it with this daily candle, but it was a topping kind of candle formation, and weren't able to maintain that, and the bears showed their strength and took us back down into the channel, all the way down to the bottom of the channel again, and we wicked within 92,450. We wicked within a few $100s at the bottom of the channel. And we came back up to the center line here, got rejected. Came back down to the bottom of the channel, a little bit through it there. Tried to come up through the center line here. Failed once again. And then did our recent little dumpy dump right below the channel. And then found resistance at the bottom of the white channel for a few days until we finally broke back up into it now. And we've crossed the center line now. Again, we've broken up above the Gaussian channel here, the daily Gaussian channel, which is good. After, we spent a little bit of time in there. This is all falls in line with what, typically can happen. And so here's the top of our white channel. And at that point, we'll have to just look at things again. We could be reaching this, Monday or Tuesday. I do believe right now that we could rally up here to this. Well, where's our line? So Sunday, today, we could rally up to the top of this channel, maybe consolidate a little bit further, and then Monday morning, if Trump does an executive order tomorrow morning, then we're probably going to start our parabolic bull rally and break above this white channel and look to hold it as support. Now, if this is some sort of sell the news event, I believe we could rally up to the top of our white channel. Now, remember the green channels that go sideways here. So this breakout from this ascending triangle right here would take us to the quarter line here, and we'd have one more quarter to go up to why does that give me a time? Oh, because I'm on a daily time frame. That's right. So this would take us into Wednesday if we consolidated across the top of the green channel, which could possibly happen. So if this rally is not a sell the news and looks like it has momentum, the momentum may peter out around this age. What did I just say? May peter out up around this range. So we'll just have to wait and see how things look then. So we could keep going and blasting through. That would be great. But what I was thinking is that we would peter out around this range, and the bears would then attempt to knock us back down again, especially heading into the FOMC meeting, although I've discussed how I believe this is really a non-event. It's not as influential as many of the other FOMC meetings, but we could hit the top of the white channel here around 111 and then start pulling back, and then see a more aggressive moves downwards heading into the FOMC meeting, and possibly looking for support along the center line of the white channel. And at that point, we probably would then rally, begin the parabolic portion of our bull rally quickly up to the top of the white channel, and I believe see new heights, and that would be heading into February. Now, if we closed here, close the month, around this area, but after the FOMC meeting, that's on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we might rally upwards. So we could, well, I could see us rally back up to around 108. That might be in the cards. Closing the month at 108. So now we're on the Coinbase chart just because it has fewer lines. You can see on the RSI that we're at 76 right now. On the monthly time frame, we still have plenty of room to go till we hit the heights of the prior bear markets or bull markets, like around 91-ish and 96-ish for the two prior markets. We're at 76 now, so even if we are decreasing over time, we still have a long ways to go. And the other ones are pointed upwards. Now, the stochastic and the stochastic RSI are pointed upwards. Now, so 108 would put us about where that green X is right there. Closing the month. That's what we'd look like. It should be really nice. It'd be really nice. January, close to our January. And what percentage would that be? About 16%. Plus there, which would indicate we could probably have a couple big green months, February and March, I'd imagine. Now, what's interesting is that this closing at 108, then we would form a new monthly candle starting above these bull flag channels, and I want to look at that on a smaller time frame, like a daily, to see what those are actually. Okay, initially we had the one on the bottom, or I guess the two here on the bottom. It's one, really. It's one broken down into 4 sections. That was our initial channel that I had drawn, and we've broken up into the second one a little bit. So we actually are breaking out of this flag pattern because the dashed line here, the center line of the upper channel, is representing actually the top of our flag pattern, and you can see that we've broken out above it here, which leads further fuel to our pumpiness. Now, mind you, here we are looking at my green lines. Well, you know what? Let's look at my red line, because my prediction here not the green one. Wait. So I just want to go over my predictions from about, from the beginning of the year. It was the first or second day of January, where I laid out a couple of scenarios for us, either the green line or the red line here, starting both right here. And I believe that we would rally upwards either to this point or this point, and then have a big pullback downwards to about the same point where this green X is. And then, and that would be heading into the CPI data. And then a rally upwards heading into the FOMC meeting. I had it. Now, things came a little bit quicker. Came a little bit quicker than I expected, but we did pretty much follow these lines. We came up to here, overshot the top of the red line a little bit, not up to the green line. And then when we had our dump down, we dumped all the way down to this point here, down to 89, which just overshot my X. I had my X here. Well, I had my X here at the center line of this channel. And that was at 90,800. But we did come down to the quarter line of the channel a little bit earlier and around 89,200. So just a little bit off. Well, what did I say here? So we're $2,000 off there. No, wait. Can I add? Yeah. So about 88 to 90. Yeah, we're $2,000 off. But things happen. Anyway, regardless, pretty close. And then from that point, we did see a nice rally upwards. And but all this is happening quicker than I had initially laid out. But we are fulfilling this. Now, so I've drawn what I think is going to possibly play out in the coming weeks, is that from here, we rally up to the top of the white channel Tuesday or Wednesday. And then Wednesday's right there. And then we see a pullback. I mean, after we got to have some sort of a pullback. But I'd be looking for this level. I'd be looking to hit the center line of the white channel heading into the FOMC meeting, and then bouncing from there and seeing much bluer skies ahead. And what that would do is rallying down to a key line of support right here also has this horizontal support of the price action that the little consolidation that we're currently having right now. And I noted something. Well, I guess we could look at this chart on a let's go to a 5-minute time frame. Do I have the VRVP on here? Let's see if I do. Well, let's go to an hourly time frame. Well, let's just stay here. We need to go to an hourly to get enough candles in there. So if we do that, and then we turn this guy on, you can see that we're filling in this entire range between, about 106 from where we were we're filling this in pretty nicely here. And earlier in the day, well, I'll show you. I'll zoom in here. When we were up here, well, let's get that off. Let's just zoom it in more. Earlier, when we were up here, and I was wondering how far down we would come, this whole section here had a big hole in it. There's a big hole in here. And then, well, you could see because we moved up quickly from here to here, we had this hole. And what we did, we came down and we filled that in. We filled it in over the past few hours with all this price action here. Filled in that hole right there, and currently making this stronger up here right now. So that's all good. And I think that might be where we find support on our pullback. That is, if we do something like this where we head up here. Now this is a little bit to the left of where I wanted it to be, but you get the picture. Let's turn that off. So looking at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map on CoinGlass on the 12-hour time frame, see we got a little bit of yellow forming up here, which is nice. I like to see that because that'll give us something to go after and not so much down here. That's good. Now, if we zoom out, let's zoom out a little bit more. I'm not quite sure how this works, but I've seen other people with different paid charts that have heat maps and stuff, and they're looking at it shorter term and long term. So I guess if you click on longer term here, that's what you're doing, is looking at longer term leverage. I don't really understand. So if you do that, you see a lot of yellow down there, right above 100,000. So, that's possible too, that we do come all the way down and retest 100,000. That white center line I talked about earlier at 104 may not hold. It may hold, may not hold. If it doesn't hold, we probably do come down and retest either 100K. And currently, we're looking at the Coinbase chart with the Gaussian channel turned on. 100K is right here, and the Gaussian channel is currently just above it at 100,700. Now, later on, who knows where that could be? Might be a little bit higher, like 101.5 or 102. Or it could be even higher. This could start curving back upwards. Somewhere between 101 and 103, probably. Now, I wonder if it could curve so much upwards that it would hit the center line of the channel. That could be possible. Well, I just fudged around with the Gaussian channel continuation line that I had here a little bit, thinking that it might start with price action above it now. It might start curving upwards, but even if you do that, I don't think it wouldn't curve up quickly enough to get to the center line here. But we really don't want to come down and test the top of the Gaussian channel once again. I mean, we kind of did that back here. And remember, we did start a new daily candle above it and then dip back down to it one last time. Let's see if there's any smaller term. I'm going to turn that off now because, well, let's leave it on. Let's see where it's at on the 1 hour. We're above it on the 1 hour. I guess that would be a test of it right there at about that level where we got rejected off of it and then held it. This line might be slightly off on this time frame. But anyway, well, we're back on the crazy chart right now, and this whole time I didn't realize we just printed a new daily candle for about an hour and a half ago. Now I wanted to look at the BBWP on the 5-day. We're on the 5-day time frame, and that closes in 2 more days. That's how I realized that we started a new day. Oh, come on. Aha, I see what happened. Now we're currently looking at my previous video where I was talking about the expansion from low volatility, extremely low volatility on the 5-day BBWP and on that breakout. Hey, stop. And and I remember that there was 3 blue bars. But I see what happened now. There was 3 because the last bar is in this final period, this final 5-day period that we're currently in. And you can see on the right there that the volatility was at 1.59%. And now it's even come up more from where it was just a minute ago. It was at 4 something a minute ago. Now it's at 516. So we must be pumping on the chart up above. And there's only 2 bars. I'll say, hey, wait, I thought there was 3 bars. But yeah, there is 2 bars now because we are expanding. Now, Eric Crown has his, you know what, we may as well put a line there. Eric Crown has his line for extremely low volatility at 10% for where he considers it expanding. So I've gone ahead and put this horizontal line here at 10%. And we're at 516 right now. So like I said, a lot of times on this setup, if you're waiting around for the for volatility to expand, you've missed a good part of the move. Now let's look at our stochastic indicator, just right here. We're on the 5-day time frame still. Huh. That's interesting because it turned up. It was heading down. Hold on, let me look at that video again. Yeah, so if you look at my video from yesterday, you look at the stochastic indicator in the middle of the screen, it's heading downwards. And we're at 1.59% volatility. So this is also what I meant by how it will flip. So now volatility is heading up. The stochastic indicator has turned from downwards to upwards. So when you're looking at the stochastic indicator as a guideline for which direction we're going to go, remember, a lot of times it'll flip at the last second. You got to have a feeling for where the market is actually going to go. And you can see the stochastic RSI is also turning upward. Oh, I'm sorry, this is yesterday. Still on yesterday, let's go to today. But to be clear, if you look at the top of the screen on the right, it says 3 days and 15 hours left in the 5-day time period. So this is like a day and a half ago. Actually, a little bit more than a day and a half ago. So now here we are. The BBWP is at 5.16 now. Stochastic oscillator is heading upwards and crossing above the 80 level, and the stochastic RSI right here, let me make this one smaller. Stochastic RSI is crossed up above the moving average, and let's switch to a hourly and see what just happened that made that go from 4 something to oh, we haven't really pumped that much. Now what's really weird is when I put this on that, it doesn't expand it out as much as it should. I don't know why. There is no price action below here. I don't know what it's, maybe it thinks all my lines are yeah, we didn't do anything really. What have we done in the past 5 minutes? Well, I guess we had this big move from 104 to 104 and a half. Huh. Interesting. So, okay, so we did break down out of this channel a little bit, which means let's just clone another channel for the hell of it. So I saw something interesting when forming that triangle. Now we're looking back to where we dumped down to 89.3 it says here. And the price action, we're on the hourly time frame back here on Monday the 13th. Price action is following these channels back here, way back here as well. You can clearly see how on the hourly we wicked up 1, 2, 3, 4 on these 4 candles as resistance here, and even this candle body, and then held support on the center line of this channel. Even came, but you can see how we're coming down to either the tops or center lines of these channels, and this one wicked right down to the top of this channel and then blasted upwards, and clearly traveling within these channels. I can see right from the get-go on this move how all the price action stayed right here in the bottom portion of this one channel. So I was looking to see if possibly we're forming a larger triangle, but there is nothing back here that above us that supports the resistance at the top of the channel at about 104.6. But so here we are coming up in these. Oh, here we are. You don't have to go very far. Yeah, there's no other resistance that I saw in the past that would make this line any longer. I was looking if possibly there was a much larger triangle that we were struggling to break through. But no, because I saw here on this last candle that we did come out. We did come out here. But that is exactly the distance that we came out here and here. If you look on a 5 minute, we'll switch to a 5 minutes because it's more clearer. You can see where we came down to on this point, and this point is all the same. It's the same slope as these channels, just a little bit above the center line there. So that would put this over there more. So if these were to hold, then still we should be breaking out within the next few hours. I mean, the edge at the end of this comes to 9 o'clock UTC tonight, and it is currently 2 o'clock UTC. So within the next 7 hours, we got to make a decision one way or another. Now, the reason why I added all those other channels, once I realized that they also interacted with these back here, is because I wanted to see if there was a point of no return, which if by what time we had not moved upwards, that we would see a breakdown using this as a point of no return, the bottom of this wick here. If we didn't, up along this channel, break out upwards, if we somehow did break through that channel, then maybe that would be the point at which we might see further downside. And if so, that is up here at around 111 and around Thursday morning, possibly heading into market open on Thursday. Actually, a lot of times price tends to do that, like 4 hours before U.S. market open. So that could be a point of dumpage from there. And dumpage to where? Maybe back down to 104 from 111. But still, that's a pretty significant move for a Thursday and Friday. Let's see. Sorry, I was thinking for a second. Sometimes I can't think and 7% move over a couple days. So that'll be a scary enough pullback for people. All right, well, I think I've rambled on long enough. Right now we're at 105.5. Our resistance line here, we're coming right up on it right now. So possibly this could be the day. I have the resistance line at a 104.650-ish. And we are $90 away from that. So let's see what happens. This could be the hour we break out. Hey, maybe we should just hang out here for a second and see, as we are getting very close to it now. What else can we talk about? The Trump coin. That's pretty awesome. I told the girl at the bank today that Trump just made a meme coin, and I could tell her political persuasion, and she's like, "Oh, they're focused on the wrong things." And yeah, I don't have quick responses. But I thought about it later. I should have said, well, you can be focused on many things. Just because you're focused on one thing doesn't mean that's all your energy's going into that. Now yeah. So I could have told her, like, well, I'm going to the bank, I'm going to go to the grocery store, I'm going to go do laundry and maybe go for a swim or a run or something. It's just because I'm going to the bank, that's not focusing all my attention isn't focused on that one issue, that one aspect of my life. Right? All right, how long do we want to wait here? Oh, come on, go. Go. Are you gonna go? Is he gonna go, or is it gonna get? It's probably gonna get rejected. I want it to go right now, though. It's trying to. Oh, it's a little bit of a pullback. Let's look at the heat map. See if we're coming up on some heat. Kind of, but that heat doesn't start till like 105. So there we are, just hanging out there. Come on, break through, bust a move. You're dollars away. Oh, of course we did bust a move right here. We did wick through right here earlier and came back down. So there we go. We went through at least we poked through. Oh, where is 105? Huh. Interesting that we would be hitting that. We would be hitting that liquidity right there at 105-ish at the center line of this green channel. Might push us through there if we did get to that point. Could it push us all the way up here to 107 to our target? Let's go back and look at the liquidity. Well, I don't think so. I think the majority of the yellow part is dies out after 105.8-ish. Yeah, but we shall see. We are getting close to it there. Well, I guess we should leave it there, and we'll tune in again next time to see what happened here at the resistance. As I need to get to some of those other things that I mentioned earlier. All right, so yeah, you don't need to like or subscribe or do whatever. You should probably subscribe just so I show up in your feed. If you're bored, if you want to fall asleep, you can listen to my channel. Or, which you don't have to like. But I'd suggest subscribing so I show up in your feed if you want to. Just for something different. All right. See you next time.